What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And this particular video, I will be reviewing Real Housewives 11 season 8. Season, I was about to say season 11, episode, what is this, 4 or 5, whatever I put in the description box. So shout out to my YouTube fam. I hope, like I said again, hope y'all had a lovely thing, happy Thanksgiving. And, you know, like and share this video. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe. And let's get into this, y'all. It should be titled, Bitches plus Liquor equals Fuckery. That's what it should be called. Because I'm team myself, or team, you know, whatever, right is right, is wrong is wrong. That's going to team name, right is right, is wrong is wrong. That's a team it should be on. Team right is right and wrong is wrong. Alright, if you can say that. Now, majority of this is the lead up about, you know, supposedly Porsha was kicking the cooch and all this other stuff, whatever. Despite that happened, on the same word that's been used, but questionably, can we say was bitch used as whatever bitch that she was calling her bitch, or because after so many shots of liquor and you already been saying the word bitch, but you said it over 50 times, but the 51 times seemed offensive, even though, you know what I'm saying? Now, she said whatever bitch cunt or something like that was said. I'm just talking about as far as Cynthia feeling some type of way, or say whatever bitch you ain't shit, you know, something along the lines. But because she said whatever, she took it as whatever, and then I'm sitting here like, I do feel, you know, there's, the tension still lies. It's back and forth. I know I'm going over the place. Now, we already know we have frenemies and we try and make another check this season for the 1,001 episodes. And, you know, so it's like a lot of these females would not be tolerating each other anymore if it wasn't exposure, or if it wasn't check. Some of them would be, you know, whatever. We're now on the show. Are we bringing unity or you know, cat fights, or both, or trying to get the businesses right? Okay. Or trying to, you know what I'm saying? We could take it all across here, there, but let's get into it, y'all. We got Phaedra, one of the scenes. I'm over because I want to save this boat trip, because it was like, no, she didn't, no, she didn't. And we got two potentials. I want to get a peach, or at least a cutie orange, if they possibly, or tang, or you know, tangerine, or something close near a peach, or a nectarine. You can't get the peach, you at least get a nectarine, right? Whatever. They are trying, okay? I hope they don't fall fuckery, because we all know what happened when somebody was sitting in the corner a year or two ago, and the fight happened between Apollo and that fuckery Peter holding Brandon down. All that bullshit went down when they tried to make sure to stay on there, and they kind of faded in the background. Okay, 3 of them yeah. Actually 4 of them, you know, Don't Wake Me, I Dream It As, and his wife or girlfriend, whatever the fuck he was, they went bye-bye, and so did whoever, used to date both Candy and Phaedra and somebody else, whatever, you know, and stuff, and Arthur's best friend from PBS, whatever, her cousin or whatever. I'm just saying he was dating everybody. So, what I'm saying is that we see Niagara Fall, the desert thirst of, you know, already with Tammy. Maybe she's supposed to be there for entertainment, funny value, and I'm just like, no, bitch, no. And I usually more so use the word bitch, really not as a term of endearment, but as an insult, just the same as nigga and everything else. So, yeah, you know, some of the statements she said, I was like, you are trying, girl. You are trying to reach that rope. Oh, my gosh. Do y'all remember Brand New Me in the rap group, right? And I could have sworn it was a big poop Hubba or something. I forgot what his name was, but wasn't that video where we had to go, she was going up there and she was going down these tight ropes and going up this ladder, and she was getting his jewelry. Y'all remember the group? It was Slow Down, whatever, and she tried to reach for that gold watch and couldn't get the gold watch, and she was able to get these bracelets and shit. That's what I feel what Tammy's ass is, and Tammy's trying so hard to reach and get this value, and already I'm like, she was all right, maybe someone in the car, but by the time she got on the boat, the little that I did hear speak, I'm like, no, please stop. Please. Somebody. Now that should have been the one to, I don't know. It's something about her. I'm like, she is trying too hard. It is like somebody's tap dancing in the background and nobody's turning to look at your ass with your entertainment. Tap. Anybody see me? Anybody see me? Anybody see me? Look at me go. Nobody fucking giving a fuck. Okay. So anyways, beginning the scene real quick. You got Kim's meeting with Phaedra. She's made a couple of his first time meeting her. They're going to play date. Kim admits like all her time, she never has me time. It's all about the kids and all this stuff and her husband, whatever. And she's never got her nails done. Never even wants to wear. She at least put Wet n Wild polish at least one time on her nails at home or whatever. Or nothing. And, you know, she was talking about the boobage and stuff like that. And I was kind of confused, like, well, Phaedra's been showing titties for quite some time now. I mean, she's been the one, been cleavage been up there, you know, her boobs been up there having arguments and been wrestling with each other and, you know, been sitting up here like this, you know, for a minute. Even in the preview, I mean, in the credits. And she's like, yeah, I know how that feels, whatever. And then I was, maybe it stood out to me for some reason. But I mean, even the swimsuit she kind of had, maybe it was the way it was made, where you know how sometimes the bikini bottom is made in a way where it looks like it's trying to be thong or not, or because, you know, some of us out there who have big booties, whatever, and sometimes things are made where they want to act like they plan on eating up the garment like a zombie from such, you know, such programs as Walking Dead or something, gonna tear it up. So then they gonna decide if we gonna eat the garment up and stuff like that, because I had some moments somewhere they be like, you know what, I want to try that, let me see, can I eat this up? And they try to eat up the garment. So I don't know if a bikini bottom was trying to actually eat up the garment or something, you know, stuff like that. It kind of, because I was like, is she made that way? Is it made that way, or her booty is trying to decide to eat the garment up? I didn't know what was going on there, even though she had that sheer kind of thing on. Like, it looked like she was kind of cross between a thong or have one of those booties gonna eat up everything you got on situations going on. Okay, y'all know at least somebody, you're not doing yourself, they got one of the booty trying to eat up the garment stuff and be sitting there, you know, like us, you know, be up there like I said, gonna eat up the garment. I'm just saying, I don't know what else to call it. Just booty eating up garments. That's all I can think about. You know, when your booty is hungry, you don't even know. By the way, Sharon Banks last episode in the comment about like how Phaedra has so much fetish with behind it. She was alien. Whatever. And I think she is one of those people, like you just don't know people, okay? So she's gonna try to help Kim get some friends, like I said, because she first thought, she said she admired Kim as Tootie, and like I said, you know, Tootie got friends. I didn't mean to be right, whatever. I was just doing a jokey joke. But Kim do not have friends. She admits that. She ain't got no friends. Tootie, the facts of life, has got friends, okay? That's what I'm saying is, Tootie probably got a Twitter fan page, verified, and every goddamn thing. You got a Kim Fields, they probably like, oh, Fields? Who's that lady? That looked like the same one who played Gina and Kim, it was what? But Kim's like the type of person that wants to be respected, which is understandable as an actress so well that she is not the character. She just shows like, I can play a character so well and still be on this mode where I'm sitting here with dashikis all day, which is nothing wrong with that, and call it a day, okay? And read all the Dr. Seuss books and shit like that, okay? And be with my kids and watch Blue's Clues and call it a day. So anyways, we also have a scene with Phaedra and Porsha, and they're going to shopping. They just, again, Phaedra's so fascinated with Porsha. Oh, look at you. And they go some store. And that's what I appreciate. Phaedra, didn't you say you first got on there, you knew about putting sugar, you know, putting the sugar in the cat area, you know, for sex and all that stuff. But you're up here trying to play, oh, this novelty store and this exotic, blah, blah. Play this. Girl, please. Please stop. Please stop playing this innocence that she keeps trying to portray. Or just like the thing with Kate, we ain't got time for your stuff. No, Phaedra, please just stop. Stop right there. Stop right there. And here's Porsha coming out trying to outfit on this schoolgirl thing, and she has like, you know, I'm glad they didn't have to blur out or edit, because I already knew the way that thing was made that it was only going to cover the top of the crack of her ass at this little school skirt she was going to have on. And it stopped. I'm going to go up on FaceTime. Girl, don't do that, because he might, when you get mad, post whatever you're going to put on there. If you're going to give us a gynecologist shot or whatever, it might be posted eventually on the nearest blog site, okay? So I'm glad whatever thing she was supposed to have did not happen, whatever. But I did want to point this out. I know I'll be paying attention to little things, but I wanted to also point out this. Now, you notice that Phaedra, and this is one thing I agree with Phaedra about. She got this whip. Porsha was trying to get, you know, like she maybe she could hook her up, and, you know, she had been Porsha feels like, you know, Phaedra can probably, you know, has been idle for herself about a year, and, you know, maybe she might be able to get her groove back. So, you know, Porsha bought a couple out that bra and panties, said whatever. Phaedra bought maybe some onesies or something, I don't know. But I looked at this. she says Porsha was trying to just, well, how about a whip or something? And Phaedra was like, I don't want no damn whip. And it is true, y'all. Sometimes role playing can take it a whole nother damn level, stuff like that, whatever, right? Now, how the hell would that look, for example? If somebody, you go with somebody and they happen to have a felony or something on their record, or you speak family, you speak jail, and your ass come out think you sexy and shit with some policewoman outfit or policeman, whatever, talking about, you know what? You under arrest with some handcuffs and shit. Like, what the fuck type of shit is that? I'm just saying, that's not role playing. That's a fucking, we gonna break up right now type of shit if you haven't. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Or come as a slave or a PR officer or a judge be sitting here like, you know what? I'm going to get the jury to get that verdict in, okay? And have a fucking grab. It's just certain shit you just don't do. Like, no, okay? Or if, for example, you just came from having like, hey, you had like a chronic illness, or you went through all the surgery, and you healed up, and you finally able to get approved to get your grip, well, you know, just one stuff, and then the first day you want to come up with some doctor stuff like that. You know what? I want to tell you diagnosis. So anyways, we have another scene, I think, that Phaedra goes to Candy's house. And again, if she's talking about the whole thing with Peter, and back here in North Carolina again, up there, working. Okay, I know she didn't mention again like how long they haven't been talking, but see, Candy, you know, just there listening to her, and again she's like basically talking about this, gonna try again to work it out, and you know, one of those speeches. Like I said, a lot of this really we just want to see what went down in. Okay, so we're going from there. We also have another scene, like I said, I'm not gonna go through everything, where we have Sheree at her house, and like I said, Sheree should have been put an exercise tape out. That's all I have to say. Like, she is no joke, that you know, with that. And here go Kenya walking down. Oh my gosh, just like she inspired. If we talk, I forgot who she was talking to on the phone, but she talks to Sheree, and basically it's like this, like, I mean, going away to Sherry's house to see if she's there. I seen a car go pass by, and I'm going to see, you know, she's still sweeping the grass. She didn't say all that, but she damn near could have. And then she goes right to her and you know, there, and because she was like, you know, I don't know if I have a door to knock or whatever. But finally we see something past Elmer's glue and some wood and some wall. We actually see at least the form makes the out. I don't know how much she got, and she has the lights on, but she still has some things to work on. Like, you open in, you know, and it still ain't people friendly. But she was sweeping the front though. But we finally have seen way more than we've seen in a long time. So she's invited her to this event because Kenya's trying to support Cynthia with what she's going through, right? So y'all, she basically like this. They still throwing shit, but seem like Sheree is still kind of like a little bit more like mellow, where it makes her like someone possibly might be likable for whatever how amount of episodes she's on this season. So anyways, y'all, they're talking and they're basically making a bet, and we still, I don't know how Kenya's, you know, dirt and yard is still doing it. You know, Sheree was just like, why don't you just didn't come up with no cookies, no milk and cookies, you know, just could have sat there and just gave me something, you know, whatever. But what I'm saying is that they basically have a bet where they, you know, Sheree's trying to get in there by December, and they have a bet like whoever gets there first, you know, clean each other houses. Now, just to be, y'all need a turnip bet, because I guess ain't nobody gonna do nothing, or at least, you know, help Lysol or whatever, or, you know, Windex some windows or whatever, you know, or sweep up and mow line. Because what if neither one of them gets there by December? You know, today is November the 29th. It's going to be December on Tuesday. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, so they have that. Then it's on the scene that, you know, Candy's working from home. And I think, oh, I forgot. When she was talking, Candy and Cynthia was talking, right? And she's talking about the restaurant business. Did you see Cynthia's face? Cynthia's like, that's Peter's field. I don't feel the restaurant business. Because we already know the first season, that's in the first season, Peter, with that restaurant business. But Candy looks at it from the angle, whereas Ty supported me when I did that play. So I should support him. Because really, Candy doesn't feel right about it. But at the same time, there's a difference in compromising, and it's different that people have a different understanding. Now, you know, Dr. Jackie already told her to take it easy and stuff, and she's someone who's working at home and all this other stuff. So I think seriously that she needs you know, it's nothing wrong with the restaurant business or whatever, but if she was able to avoid it, if she could, and just postpone one off, because Ty had R&B, he has these shows, they got all this stuff going on, and, you know, it's just looking from the angle is they could have waited for the restaurant business, whatever, and I don't know, they can sell, you know, Patty got her pies and something, then, you know, maybe they could sell, well, no, peach cobb or something like that. You know, maybe some version where you can, you know, microwave at home fried chicken or something. Shit, I don't know what's the specialty. You know, they make it a family business. Y'all gotta have a specialty dish or something. You know, she can just go ahead and make a food truck and still make money or some shit, whatever. You know, she just do that. Shit, that might be easier. Shit, have somebody run the food trucks. So anyway, yeah, that sounds like a nice business. Yeah, it does. But what I'm saying is that they had all these feelings leading up to the day of Kenya's event that she's buying to the boat. So they have another scene with Porsha, and she has this red nightgown on, and she ready, diamond crust, and she's texting Duke, and they don't do like the pop up on the screen and say what he's saying. She said, "Can we talk?" And supposedly he ain't here for it. He's with his best friend. Oops. I mean, allegedly, you know, they probably getting meetings in and all this stuff, because y'all is terrible saying like that. You know, his best friend is really more than his, okay, never mind. But what I'm saying is that he ain't think about that. He got access to all coochies besides that one, okay? And she is, like I said, she tried and she waited, and they kept on zooming in and outside, in, out, whatever, right? And he never obviously calls her based on what she said. She has to call Phaedra, and she basically lets her know, like, you know, they have one of them talks like, you know, you can do better. It's okay, boo-boo. You gonna do it. Yes, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Okay, that's what, she, you know, it was. And she realized she wants to be better. She admits that she still kind of wishes, and she wants to be to the point where she wants to be married and have kids, or, you know, I don't know, she's just trying to get a kid. I don't know what she's trying to do. Okay. Leave it as that. I think it wasn't too much. But like I said, the first half was kind of like you leading up to this event. Now let's go to the day of. Okay. Now, they have one of those like little bits, like, you know, type of shuttle type of buses. But first, they end up, I think they pick up, Cynthia has this friend named Tammy, as I mentioned earlier, and they pick up Kenya. And Kenya's like, but she didn't say the face, she just strayed, but we just will keep her with us, whatever. And Candy, like I said, we already know that Candy don't play that with her sleep, okay? She will sleep during yoga, baking cookies, vacuuming, whatever, okay? So she, especially now since she's with child now, she will sleep in the back. They go pick up Kim Fields, and Kim Fields and her have an interesting talk. We're going to get into that real quick. So her and Kim was asking questions about she admired her for her entrepreneurship. It was kind of like just like, you know, one of those type of talks. But then Kim ends up, of course, we know that innocence was going to last so long, and they were just talking a little bit. And Kim felt open enough to ask her. She was asking about, you know, businesses and certain stuff. And then, you know, Candy, she was like, I want to try new things. You know, one that innocence, but I really got a freak in them type of talks. You know, it's all about, you know, sometimes you want to get out the norm and you don't know how you want to get out the norm, but, you know, I'm just saying, I don't know about that stuff. I have heard that if you hold your nose when you're going down on a man's thing, that, you know, you can deep throat and you don't choke and don't need anything. You know, that's how the way Kim indirectly, like, she was, of course, ain't done that stuff, but first Kim had, she admitted to Kim, because, you know, Kim's like, you want to try something new? Oh, okay, well, how about maybe vibrating panties? And Kim was like, I don't even believe in wearing underwear. And I'm like, when I hear women say that, especially women say that, and, you know, I'm like, do you mean all month? And I'll leave it as that. Because when I be hearing women saying that, well, do you mean all month? And when you wear a dress, okay, dress, okay, whatever. You know, make sure you don't be there when it's high wind, whatever, or something. Or make sure you let everybody, if you like one of those people who don't like wearing panties and you wear dresses and stuff like that, if you can, let everybody go in front of you up the stairs before yourself. That's all I'm saying. But she, and you know, Candy, like, some of us figured like she probably does, you know, wears granny panties, or probably doesn't, you know, got a forest down there and everything. You know, you can't find Waldo or whatever else is going on. But so she also, Katie gave us good advice. Like, you always just start with something small, whatever, because, you don't want your man to be intimidated or nothing like that. And then here go Kim, I'm actually basically a screamer, and I don't know, should I give it? Candy was like, well, that's your business or what? And it's like, well, if they go to bed at 9 o'clock, she may have to go wherever part in the basement of her house, if they have extra bathroom, whatever, or have to run and water, whatever, if she needs to do that, or her husband, it's ways you can work around that, I think. And even Candy was suggesting if you need a gag ball, whatever. So they had an interesting talk. Like I said, I was surprised. Kim had a little in her, whatever. And we also seen a little bit of that on the boat. So here Tammy and Kenya and Cynthia's talking, whatever, right? And also I remember the pickup portion. Here again, Shamia, also known as, I think I'm trying to get a tangerine, a cutie orange, or at least a nectarine, something close, maybe a pear, or something to be on the show. I think that's what she's giving me so far. And they're talking like at terms about Cynthia, how I guess around this event is based on Cynthia. And how they, like Porsha, they want something about Porsha's like this, like you trying to try with the relationship, she would never wish like having to go divorce to nobody. She wish if she, but unfortunately it wasn't her case or something like that, whatever, woo, 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 woo. And, you get back and forth where they're talking. But like I said, people just want to say, how does Cynthia and Porsha get into this fight? Yeah, so they just worry about the fight. So nobody gives a fuck about what the stuff was said. Because I'm not going to go through everything because I will be definitely reading the whole damn episode. Like I said, people are like, we just want to see the bitches fight. I want to see what the heck happened. So, of course, that's to be continued because we don't know what the hell actually happened, okay? So, all we seen in the previews is, shit, yeah, somebody on top of Porsha again. I'm going to get her. I'm like, oh, hell. So anyways, they sit there and, like I said, they talk about Porsha and woo woo woo. And Tammy mentions when she in the car with Kenny and Cynthia that she knows Sheree. She's been best friends for about 16 years. And, Kenya, because, she claimed the dumb wrong. I don't know what shade is, but the first thing she brings up when she says she knows Sheree, but she brings up Sheree. Sheree wouldn't have married Bob if he wasn't playing for the Falcons. So that is complete shh. I wish I had that fan. Oh, shit, I didn't know I had this. My bad, y'all. Okay, because I really didn't know it was up here. My bad. Just all this, and we just seen the bitch less than 2 seconds. So anyways, what I'm saying is first that she did, and you're saying and implying that if she married this dude because he had, some money and stuff like that, then that is Storm Major said. You're saying that she's gold. Did she say no? And something about I don't know what the bitch was talking about, okay? And I don't think she knew what she was talking about, okay? At times. She thought she knew she was talking about, but reflections. So I have to say. So when they get there, the boat, we got the shirtless man, bartenders, whatever. Of course, Kim, Cynthia, Cynthia, Phaedra was in, her baby was sick. Code for I was going to be involved with that shit this time because, how many times there's somebody, not to say people ain't sickly, because I know about it, and a couple of us, we know about it, have chronic illnesses with us, and then we're dealing with things in our family. But have y'all noticed that this is not the first time conveniently that I have jobs or somebody's sick? Am I the only one that's starting to notice this? Because this comes up a little too darn much, okay? That is two out of choices that she usually has. Jobs, or recently I'm sick, an occasional option, honorable mention, that costs too much. Okay, leave it as that. So like I said, you got Kenya, Cynthia, and Tammy. They go there first. They drinking woo woo. And like I said, when soon as the rest of the crew get on the boat, how Kim is just like, oh my gosh, shirtless people, shirtless dudes. But you know how Kim is. Kim is like really on mommy mode. Like I said, I think she knows all the episodes of Blue's Clues. Okay, I'm telling you, she knows and knew all the characters who retired in West Sesame Street. Okay, she one of them type people. Okay, so anyways, you got the drinks flowing. everything, right? We just getting it in and whatever, and everybody's having a good time. I heard, bitch, yeah, bitch, what, bitch, term of endearment. This is not the first time this happened, whatever, right? But as soon as I got on the boat, before the drinking began, y'all, and Baker's first. Now, when they got on the boat, the first day, Kenya made it out loud, and I could understand the point. Even though Kenya is very messy, like Pigpen off of Charlie Brown, as I usually say, as for referring to another person off another show, we can also say this. Now, that girl came on there to put her on blast and asks her, is it water product? And even if it was, like, you purposely come in her bit to say that, like I said. So, anyways, the first thing she let it be known for her, like, oh, she came here, like, really? And I think it was after, because when she said hi, Shamilia, whatever the girl's name, said hi. She like, really? Somebody just gonna invite her? I didn't invite this, bro. Okay, and that's what Porsha was saying. Okay, why? Why was this a big deal? They'll accommodate Phaedra. Like I said, Phaedra tells Porsha to say, everybody, like I said, one of her babies is sick, so take care of that. And they decided, like I said, start proper. Before it began, she made sure Tammy, because she also knows Tammy has messed up. Tammy says she used to be ballerina. We don't know if she's still doing that, or, that's been, what, 20-some years ago? We don't know. And, she decides to have Kim Fields get they get a pedicure, and, Tammy gets a pedicure first. And they say something along the lines, like, Tammy says something like she's in her 40s, whatever. And then here go Kenya coming at Kim Fields like, you know what, aren't you 50, Kim? I mean, Kim, like I said, that Regina was coming out her ass. I told you, Kim, like I said, Kim may not have no friends, but Kim may not have no friends, and Tootie has friends, and a little bit of dash of Tootie was coming out of her too, because she just was like, she went from to what the fuck this bitch say, but we're gonna say to her words, like, if she can interpret it, and mommy know, gosh darn it, that was very rude and very, very mean, and I didn't like that at all. My feelings hurt if we went in mommy mode. But she was like, I'm 40. She either said she was 45 or something, right? I have you to know. And it's only 5 minutes. I don't know how old Kenya is neither, but she basically said, no, like, bitch, I ain't fucking 50 years old, and I had one of the best photos in Jet they had in 40 years. See, that's what I'm saying is that mommy went to I'm going to fuck you up mode, okay? Because, like I said, that's also throwing, I don't know if anybody caught this, but that was throwing shade toward Kenya. You know why? Because Kenya has been in Jet at times too, okay? So that's throwing it, because she said that's one of the best photos they had in 40 years, and I guess she was saying, no, like, bitch, where was yours? That's how I took it. Maybe just me, but I'm kind of like, see? That ain't instant food. She ain't wearing no panties and stuff and all that other shit. Talking about they overrated. But anyways, y'all. But then be the same person like, I don't know what a leggings is. Why do women everybody wearing leggings now and stuff? They booty all, like, you can see their booty and stuff. And I don't like to wear those. I don't even understand that. So anyway, y'all. So they're talking back and forth, whatever. And then Sheree finally comes up there. She's the last one on the boat. And you see how, like, when she came up there, because no, remember at first I was like Tammy, like I said, she better off getting a prune. It's the best thing that bitch gonna get. And because that's the reason I'm sorry I keep calling her bitch for a reason, because some of the stuff she said, especially that one comment, I'm like, girl, I can't. At least this first episode, no. And I'll get to that in a moment, what she said, because I'm like, that shit was not funny. She, well, you know what I'm saying, came up there, and I said, like I said, Tammy was already trying to let me know when she's seen Candice, but she already was letting her know, like, not butt as in actually her ass, but saying, like, oh, I don't know you remember me, but when you were in Escaping, even Candy was like, that's 20 years ago, which I agree with Candy on this point, like, 20 years ago, and even 15 years ago, or something like that, like I said, I'm in my 30s, shit, I'm 35, say it with no problem. So somebody's coming to me and say, don't you remember from high school? Really? You really just gonna bring that up here? So Candy was like, shit, that's been 20 plus, 20 some years ago. Ain't nobody got time to remember that. But Tammy was probably like, I seen you, but she didn't say even precisely where. Like, she must have seen Escape and was, the last role wherever they had the concert at or something like that, and waved like, everybody screaming in the background and she in the background. That's what she was making it seem like, okay? So anyways, y'all, when Sheree come up there, she basically like, you know what? Hi, and then somebody mentioned like, oh, here's she was like, oh, I know Tammy, it just went about business. You know how that was. So like I said, you got Kim and Sheree still throwing jabs at each other, but in a playful way. Like, they still cool. Like, yeah, I know you shady, you be on some fuckery, but you cool. So anyways, y'all, they end up make a long story. It got time. I think Kenyon was announcing to everybody she's trying to make this to make Cynthia feel better. Cynthia's just like this. I just want to enjoy the party, enjoy some cocktails. This don't have to be about me and the circumstances. And then we see one scene where everybody was a little bit questionable. By the time everybody started getting a little buzz, besides Kim and of course Candy. Candy is on deck. She's getting drunk off of Sprite with a cherry in it. Okay, that's what she on. Like, can somebody give me some fruit punch? And you know how Kim is. Kim admitted that she don't drink. She like this. Do you got organic apple juice? Or grape juice, and sneak it in Tupperware. And we seen Kim with the book and the Tupperware, and Kenya ends up throwing the Tupperware. I was like, Kenya, I agree with you to a certain point, like, get that out of there, but at the same time, don't do that. That's bad for the environment. Don't be throwing Tupperware in the shore, okay? Anyway, and she brought that book down. I had to laugh at that because I did that during high school too. I used to be really in books really tough. Where one time I went to one of my friends at the time being Maritza's birthday party, and I had nerves audacity to bring a book and try to read it at a party. And one girl, she was not spotted, but that's what engaged me in conversation with her, because I had the nerves audacity to bring a book. Like I said, I ain't about to sit here and talk about, nobody knowing darn well I did the stuff my darn self, okay? So, but I just was laughing like, girl, you with the books. But yeah, she had the nerves to bring snacks, probably a fucking trail mix, some gummy bears, maybe a fruit roll, or some dried cranberries, something like that. You ain't fooling nobody, Kim. Now, Tootie, if grown-up Tootie would have brought, some hot flaming Cheetos and shit and whatever. No, she would have been in that darn bar. And then on top of that, they had a chef there. Okay, like, really? Okay. But, so Tammy ends up talking to Candy. And we see the difference. Well, Kim was asking her information too, but it was more like kind of trying to like know about business, but not trying to like just take advice, but not trying to overdo it. It was engaging where she was trying to be comfortable of talking and stuff, but it wasn't like Tammy. Tammy's like this. Have you? And she was talking, I think, to Porsha. Was it Porsha and Candy? She like this. Have you heard my son's song? And even Candy like, who the heck you talking about? She talking about son to my drip a drop. It's gonna be wet outside. We gonna take a ride. Da-da-da-da slide. And then we slip and slide. And she like drip praying Alex the cat, whatever the heck she was talking about. Real talk, because nobody was really paying. Drip, drop or something, right? And she was like, I'm trying to get in the studio. And even Candy was like, okay. But you notice, she thought she had some lead because she thinking it's gonna be don't be tardy for the party. And she just gonna get a free favor and get some stuff off the show. And then the bitch in Nurse Destiny, she was talking about she's been married 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years and don't know when she actually was married. And then she meant, oh, my husband is white and whatever. Like, I mean, bitch, do you want a cookie or a condom? What the fuck? What do you want? Because the way she kind of said it, personally, me, is like she wanted to some shock value. Then she had a nerves of dash. She started talking about some he's American. He's the most whitest American Nazi man you ever seen. I'm like, do you really want to go there and say American Nazi? And he's happy. He's the most happiest person. And Candy even walked away from the side, and everyone else walked away from the side. And I'm thinking, like, does this bitch think she's funny by saying that comment? Like, Nazi? Is you for real? Like, oh hell no. I mean, there are such groups. There are few of them there are Nazis, but they're not. I think if they're neo-Nazis, I think those are the ones that, you know, fuck shit. There's some groups that'll say Nazi and they're actually like some sky, be smoking weed all day or something like shit. One of them type of groups. I don't know. I just honestly just wouldn't be no group that have no damn Nazi in it, period. Or even say that comment. And for her to do that made it seem like this was trying to get shock value. And I'm like, yeah, you got the shocker right to make it look yourself like a dumbass. So they had a time like towards the end that they have you got slip and slide. Tammy went out there first and slid, and then on the slide into the water. And then Shimmy, I still don't know her name, Miss S, got on slide out in the water. And then again, she made some little comment. Now, we paid attention to that as well. That we got, she said some comment. They tried to give her a towel, and the towel looked as big as a washcloth. And she said some comment. It's just like, for example, display of some water. You know, making comments still taking jazz of Kenya. And this is another bit of Kenya or something like that. Whether it's viral response or not, or whoever the heck it is. But again, she made some little slick comment. And I even heard it my own self. She and, but like I said, we already knew Porsha was pouring up because she was saying something. I think Cynthia said some comment about talking about Peter and stuff, whatever, be going on. And I think she said in the car also, like, how Cynthia should apply more effort trying to make man Richard go visit him and stuff. Because he's only 2 hours, half hour away in North Carolina, and she goes drives an hour away to work every day and all this other stuff, whatever. And there was one part, everybody, you know, Sheree and all were looking crazy because she was pretending like she was doing a Jamaican accent and shit and all talking about like Peter and everything. Oh, Jamaica and blah blah, and she was just grinding a little too much. It wasn't like on Cynthia or something, but it was on the side, and everybody was just like, and even Porsha realized like, okay, I've been on the Hennessy a little too hard. Maybe I should slide over to the left and be in the corner. But it didn't last long. Then it got to the point after Shamia, whatever, also known as I might only get a prune 2, is the best I'm going to get towards being on this show. Probably. Who knows? But after that, you know, Kenya, then they started talking. And Kenya even brought up like how people are taking jabs, people, or something about taking jabs. And she realized like she didn't want Shamia on there. And she'd been taking jabs at her ever since then. You know, she been on this boat. I mean, like, taking, been negative with negative energy. And it ended up saying, like, you know, Kenya had to remind her she's a professional black woman. And here the girl's like, hooray! Okay, congrats, Miss America. And I'm like, oh, hell. And then, and here, Kenya's like, security! I want her off the boat. And I just thought about this. Like, Kenya, I understand I don't want the bitch off boat, but, you know, the minute, honestly, I would have got rid of her then. Or if I had a problem with her. As soon as I seen her, to be honest with you, in those circumstances, I would have told her before we left the dock. Like, oh, hi, Porsha. Why is she here? Why is she here? I ain't got time for this. Can security or somebody, if, you know, I'm just saying, if it was that bad, I wouldn't wait until we on water and stuff like that. I would have just told her to get the fuck on then, whatever. Because we know the king is the queen of messes or whatever, but I'm just looking for the angle is, girl, we should have just did that before y'all even left the dock. So she's trying to tell the captain, Mr. Loveboats, the man who played that long lost brother, like she wants her off the boat. And then it just intensified things because here, you know, Cynthia, and you know, some things happen so fast or whatever. So you got Cynthia and Porsha is talking about something. And again, and they're talking, and then it gets to the point that Portia's calling playing world moving like, she's like, bitch, whatever. And Cynthia just took it another one, like, what? Why did you call me a bitch? And Portia's like, okay, we've been calling each other bitches all day and stuff, whatever, whatever. But Cynthia feels some type of way now because she said whatever from the bitch. So she feels like okay, y'all, sorry, the battery went low, so I had to wait for it to charge and shit, so I'm at the ass in it anyway, but I'm tired as hell, whatever, and I want to finish this. So, basically, wasn't it Candy that kind of actually first put in there that Cynthia to get Kenya once her and that other girl, Samia, whatever her name is, got into whatever, and, you know, here go Kenya, talk about go get your friend or something like that. And I think Porsha said, you know, Cynthia reminded, like, you know, how Porsha, to remind Porsha that there's plenty of people got, like, these best friends. And we all know how, like I said, Phaedra's been calling her thought of Veal, thought-artist, thought-artist, Pocahontas, thought-artist, you know, thought-ologist, whatever, okay? So, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, Cynthia was saying that, and then poor Porsha stuff, like, a lot of us got best friends, some comment, and then, like I said, Porsha said, whatever, bitch, show and shit, but the way she said it, is the way she said it, people can't interpret it as if she was calling, like I said, the whatever, where it was like, okay, whatever, bitch, whatever, get the fuck on. Or she was kind of saying it, but everybody was on one. Cynthia already had her feelings. She might have tried to text Peter again a couple goddamn times, and again, he did not answer. Because like I said, I noticed one thing. She said he was back in Charlotte again. But like I said, there was nothing brought up about the 10 days about why the fuck he was missing or why he did not call her back. And like I said, it was nobody out there saying whether this Negro was kidnapped or coma or both. And or the same time, or had like some stomach flu or something that had it where he could not reach the phone. So like I said, they're gonna give it a try. But when was the last time you spoke to him? Okay, and you know, everybody's on one. Mostly everybody. You know, like I said, probably Katie had to get little burps out and stuff. Because you know how she, like I said, was drinking some juice and some maybe slipped in a couple pops. But, so, basically, Cynthia felt like, you called me a bitch. And, Portia's like, what is you talking about? Blah, 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 blase, blase, blase. And eventually got to the point where, I feel like Coach blah, blah, blah. And I think, like, Kenya, they ended up walking up, Cynthia, and I think Kenya, like I said, was talking to her. Kenya, and I think somebody else, blase, whatever, blase, explained to Porsha that she felt offended that Cynthia, like, even though, because she didn't feel like she did nothing wrong, but it's like, but just apologize to her because she feels offended in some way. And so Porsha, for a second, was thinking about, okay, I don't want to make her feel some type of way. She went to Cynthia, but like I said, Cynthia got to the point, they're going back arguing, and here go Porsha, like, sitting down, don't make me get up, but whatever. So this basically all started by a combination of communication or saying it the wrong way in one matter. So Porsha kind of saying the wrong way, and even after she got the advice to talk to Cynthia, she still, Cynthia was like, well, are you apologizing? She basically said, no, I don't feel like apologizing. But she was trying to say, I thought you thought I was saying a certain way. And it wasn't that. So Cynthia took it the wrong way. And Portia's slump to a certain extent could have been said she said it the wrong way. And it got to the point here where the time to go back and forth. Because somebody said, who said somebody need to take a thought pill? But before then, but by that time, it's basically like this. Woo, 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 woo. And here we got this is Portia's hand, and this is Cynthia's hand. And then it's just like this, whatever. You know how the hand is, like I said, when I did the Lost Artist Lab, also shout out to just read my book. One of my YouTube cousins that inspired me to do or responds me to that. That, like I said, this is what causes problems when you start doing hands to the face. Because it's this, right? Okay, so hands can do this. Meh, 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 eh, eh. Mush, mush, mush. It's too much open opportunity, okay? So, they both doing that shit. So, like I said, by the time Porsha came in, their first scene was supposed to be some apology, and instead it got more like this. And then also you look like Portia's about to kick Cynthia, what I call Cynthia, I meant to say Cynthia, and then they blacked the shit out, and then it's supposed to be continued, okay? So that's what I'm saying is, unfortunately, it's like, here's the thing here. Once we realized Cynthia was up in the feelings and stuff like that, Porsha just could have left it alone because you could tell, like, Cynthia was on one, she was upset, whatever, and she's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let her be, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then, but at the same time, Cynthia kind of took it in the way, and like I said, y'all, we would just say next episode, but it's like, it didn't have to go that route, okay? It did not have to go that route the way. It didn't have to go this way. It could have just been like this, fine. It could have been a fight that could have been avoided. Even when she said with bitch and she got somewhere, she was like, the Porsche could have been like this. Pfft, you know what? Because she should have thought about this. Now, she just got demoted when she, was provoked to a certain point. Even though it depends how people look at it, I still believe she was provoked. But this time, she was provoked, and the shit could have been avoided. You know what I'm saying? But even then, it could have been avoided, whatever. Like, girl, think about it. You just barely got on this motherfucker with a peach, whatever. You've been a guest appearance and been there more than... Who was there last? I'm just saying, she was just got back on there. Here's Sheree don't get a peach, and she one of the original ones on this damn show and don't get a fucking damn peach. But you got your fucking peach back and shit, and you up there fucking the game for everyone. So what I'm saying is who's to say let back in there, because they got a figures occasion, but I guess Cynthia and her both get the dirt. I mean, I didn't hear that they both got demoted or anything off. Were they say that, whatever? But what I'm saying is that you just got on the show. You got to think about, like, if this is now being used to promote your life, promote your brand, don't fuck up. You know, don't sit here. Don't do the electric slide in the line that's meant for the hustle. You know what I mean? That the hustle dance, you know, what they're all talking about. But you know, I'm just saying is you don't. I'm sorry, I'm starting to take this off because, like I said, I'm ready to go to bed. Don't mess up things for yourself. And I'm just saying is it could have been avoided. And I mean, I'm just saying is you got to look at it all together. I'm like, like you know, and truth be told is the fact that Cynthia already went there upset and she said it wasn't about her. She's hearing the word bitch, but we could tell it's still having a lot to do with Peter. Okay, so that's it, y'all. Y'all we put tonight, put the weekend, and we definitely gonna see what's gonna happen next week or whatever. Like I said, you know, all this or whatever could have been avoided. And I'm like, yeah, like I said in a minute. Y'all trying to, I'm just saying, like, y'all keep this up, is y'all gonna make it to season 9? And, you know, 2,000 episodes later, I'm just saying, y'all, they better think. This shit ain't worth it. But anyway, y'all, put some nice weekend. I'll definitely see y'all next video.